What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Hop Butcher for the World, and they're out of Chicago, Illinois, and this is their Technical Knack-Out, aka TKO. So they're calling this one a Mosaic and Nelson Sauvin-hopped Triple IPA. Comes in at 10.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review. And this can is approximately 2 months old, and I'm gonna give a huge thanks, shout out once again to Hop Butcher for this beer. So big thanks to them. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail video I did that contains all the goodies they hooked me up with, and I'm really excited about this one because a lot of folks were telling me that this is delicious. So this is basically the Triple IPA version of their Kielbasa King, and you know, if you're gonna give me a beer like Kielbasa King and then make it a Triple IPA, sign me up, because I really loved Kielbasa King. I gave it like a 4.5, 4.6, something in that range. And I remember the Nelson just screamed in that beer: white grapes, passion fruit, pineapple, gooseberry, the whole nine. It was fantastic. I also like on the bottom here, it says, what is it? The Little Mac for the win. Yeah, I love that reference. Just love it. Anyway, so I'm really excited about this one. Now, I think it is pronounced Technical Knack-Out as opposed to Knack-Out, because I've heard it say Knackwurst and also Knackwurst. That's kind of what they're going for, because Kielbasa King obviously a sausage, whatever. Anyway, it's pronounced fine by me. I'm not great at pronunciation, so don't leave it in my hands. Anyway, let's crack this open, get it into a glass. Now, I've had this upside down in my fridge. That's what I do with all of the Hop Butcher everything now at this point, except for like lagers. There's always goodies at the end if you don't have them upside down. So at this point, I'm not going to pour in the goodies at the end, or until the end. Just leave it how it is, but it should all be mixed up quite well. So yeah, I'm expecting just hopefully delicious beer. Hopefully the ABV's kind of reined in, but yeah, that looks like hop juice from Hop Butcher. Like, that is milky. It has this deep dark orange color, a finger of a almost lightly tanned colored head, super creamy looking. I mean, that is in the glass. Anyway, in the Hop Butcher glass, this is picture perfect. Let's get a dose. So I want to say that I'm drinking this one at 2 months old because I reviewed the Kielbasa King right around 2 months old. I think it was just under. So considering I reviewed that beer at 2 months old, let's see what the Triple IP version at 2 months old is. Plus, a lot of their triples can hold up. I've had triples from them that are almost 3 months old that were still quite tasty. So I'm fine with the 2-month-old Triple IPA from Hop Butcher. More often than not, they're still going to be really good. But yeah, the nose on this, it's crazy. It's very reminiscent of Kielbasa King, although maybe a little bit sweeter and a little bit more malty. Could be the age, could be, or it could be just the sheer amount of malt they're using this one. But yeah, there's white grape, not as much as gooseberry, but white grape, passion fruit, maybe a little bit of papaya is in here. I don't remember that being in Kielbasa King. Pineapple for sure. Guava. And then I'm getting like stinky papaya. If you ever had papaya where it's not properly at the time where it's the best, like it could be over-ripened and not ripened. I think it's more when it's over-ripened, you start getting that stinky papaya. A little bit of this there, like a big earthiness. Yeah, there's an earthy, like almost dank, herbaceous, like green type of thing happening. It's not overly green, it's not like hot burn, but it's just like tomato stalk-ass, grassy maybe. It definitely smells sweeter. So that's one issue, obviously, with triple IPAs in general, because of the sheer amount of malt. A lot of times they're sweeter. It can be problematic. Hopefully it's not an issue here. But yeah, I would say, honestly, as I keep on sniffing on it, the stinky papaya comes to the forefront. There's, after that, white wine, white grapes, something in that realm. There's pineapple. There's a little bit of passion fruit. Maybe a touch of citrus. Maybe like like the vines of a strawberry, right? Something like that, but not quite berry, but kind of like in that realm. And I'd imagine that's from the Mosaic. It smells pretty good, but I'll just say it right now, Kielbasa King smelled better to me. It is what it is. Hopefully it's delicious, though. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Hop Butcher. Taste is definitely better than the nose. Wow. Fuck, really good. Wow. I'm trying to properly kind of understand what exactly I'm tasting, from everything from the taste to the mouthfeel to the body to the alcohol, everything. And I just was looking for anything that stuck out in a negative manner. It sucks because here's the thing. Pure honesty. When we do reviews on YouTube, any beer tuber, part of the shtick is to kind of find faults with the beer or stuff that you don't enjoy, but also positive stuff, which you do enjoy. So the first thing, and it might be just bad habit, but the first thing I kind of look at the first couple sips is there anything that's standing out in a negative way or in a positive way? It's the first thing I always look for. And there are no negatives right off the get-go. First off, body. This is a thick boy. I've had some double IPAs in this last batch of stuff they sent me where the double IPA is like medium full body at 7.5%. Just insane. This, same thing, medium full body. It's thick. It's not syrupy, but just it's thick. I mean, it's a thick fucking triple IPA. It has heft behind it. The mouthfeel. Mild to moderate carbonation, smack dab in the middle, but this is really smooth and creamy on the palate. I wouldn't necessarily call this like super soft, but there is a big, smooth, creamy nature to the mouthfeel. So body, yeah, it's 10.5%, 100%. Mouthfeel, it's smooth, it's creamy. It's kind of what you expect. So body and mouthfeel are great. The taste, it's not as complex as I was hoping it was going to be based on what I'm remembering from Kielbasa King off the top of the dome piece, and then also the fact that it's 10.5%, triple IPA. But man, is it fucking good. Right at the forefront, I'm getting sweet, over-ripened, almost candied berry. And I get that in the taste. It's all kinds of berry. It's strawberry. It's raspberry. Boysenberry. But sweeter, candied versions of those berries. Maybe even a little bit of blueberry. First thing that hits me is that berry, and it's crazy because, again, it's sweeter. It passes through. That's where I think the Mosaic obviously is shining right at the forefront with the berries. Then right after that, I get a nice pop of like a tannic white grape. I didn't look at it. Do not look at here's another thing too. In the last review I did there, Bruce, I forgot to read the tasting notes at the end. So I actually posted them in the description box, but I forgot to. I'm not going to forget today, hopefully. But I've had them say white grapes a lot. And every time I've said tannic white grape or white grape, they always say crisp white grape. And I specifically remember that tasting note. So I'm going to say that is in here. Or some kind of white grape. I'm going to say crisp white grape. Why? Because I just think it's going to be on the label. I just think so. Anyway. Definitely, like they'll say crisp white grape, I think. I'm going to say tannic. If they say tannic white grape, that's fantastic. But I'm getting like a tannic like grape skin. There's an underlying crushed, sweeter pineapple. There's a juicy, almost tart passion fruit. So the Mosaic shines first. Then right after that, the Nelson hits. I'm not getting like any kind of malt characteristic. I think it's just bumping up the sweetness, obviously. I'm not getting anything specific. Maybe like a slight vanilla tinge. I don't know. That might just, again, come from the malt itself. What I'm left with is dank, herbaceous, green, grassy kind of feel to it. Almost like I've mentioned, like being in a garden or something. This is like you go out after, let's say you cut the grass and it rained a couple days later, you go out and you just smell like the dew, the damp grass, kind of something like that. So I don't know if they're going to say it on the label, but if they mention like a greenness or something like that, I wouldn't be surprised. Or maybe like dank herbal, something like that. We'll see. But yeah, is it sweet? It's really not building up. It's definitely sweet. Don't get me wrong. It's 10.5%, but it's not like overly so. There's a pretty big dryness on the back of the palate, like semi to full on dry. Very mild bitterness. There is some kind of feeling in the back of the throat from the alcohol. So there's a slight astringent alcohol thing here, but it's not really a deterrent to the beer. It's not like distracting me. It's not taking away from it. So I'm okay with it. Big warm in the chest. I feel it in like my upper body. Like every sip I take, I'm like, ooh, I'm starting to get toasty. So I'm probably going to be feeling it after I drink the rest of this can pretty good. This is delicious. Is it as good as Kielbasa King? I don't remember exactly what I rated this, but this is basically a triple IPA version of Kielbasa King. So if something that is 3% higher sounds like more your speed, then this is a beer for you. I really love triple IPAs when they're done well. This is done well. So I like this probably in the same range, give or take like a slight, half point rating, or maybe, like let's say I gave Kielbasa King a 4 or 5 and whatever I give this is going to be very similar. But this is delicious. I'm going to pour in the rest of the goodies. Then I'm going to read the tasting notes before I rate it, just so I don't forget, because I'm remembering right now. Starting to get hammered from this? Yeah, a little bit. Anyway, tasting notes. Let's do these right now. Berry medley. I pretty much said like 3 or 4 different medleys, different berries. So berry medley. Yeah. I mean, they said it better than I could. I said strawberry, raspberry, boysenberry, and then blueberry. Is that a berry medley? Yes, it is. Dank greens. So I said dank herbal, or they might say green. They say dank greens, of course. Ah, Butcher, what are you guys doing? Now, if this last one is crisp white grapes, it's a walk-off home run. Crisp white grapes. I got to do the rating. Yeah, they nailed the tasting notes, and they've done this a couple times with this box where like whatever I'm tasting, they totally nailed. And it's rare for that to happen. Like more often than not, I get like 1, maybe 2 of the 3. I pretty much got everything they said here. The only other thing I would say is maybe like, again, they only do 3, but if there's like, again, vanilla, maybe like crushed pineapple, passion fruit, something like that. I don't know, but I think they nailed it. Anyway, Technical Knack-Out, aka TKO from Hop Butcher. It's a 4.55 out of 5. So I'm going to go yeah, dude, I'm starting to get hammered. Gloomy, you're going to watch this. Yes, I'm starting to get buzzed extremely well from this beer. I don't know. I've drank quite a bit of it. Probably like a third of it already, but I am feeling this. Anyway, yeah, this all day gets a 4.55 out of 5. So high 4.5. This is just delicious stuff. If you can get your hands on it, do so. Although at this point, by the time you see this, probably be over, 2 months old. But if they release this again, definitely give it a go. Or Kielbasa King, very similar to this, just in a lower ABV. Price point availability, these are typically, I think, $18.99 a 4-pack in the Chicago area. If this does see distro to some places, you're probably talking $23, $24 4-pack. Would I pay that again for this beer? Yeah, I'd probably buy a single can or 2, for sure. I totally would. Availability, it's Hop Butcher in and around the Chicago area. They have the new tap room and retail store in Chicago itself. We see some of their stuff here occasionally in the Buffalo, New York area. They just had a couple beers show up one specifically that I bought and I will be reviewing. And yeah, you can get their stuff. I'm trying to shut this down. I don't know. I keep on rambling, but man, am I feeling it. By the time this is gone, lights out for Joe. Just totally done. So anyway, huge thanks to Hop Butcher for this beer. Thanks to everybody for stopping by for another beer review here in the Beer Patrol. If you've had this one before or Kielbasa King, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it because I'd be curious to know which one did you prefer. I still think I would give the edge to Kielbasa King just because of the ABV and it wouldn't make me slur all my words like I am right now apparently. I mean, I'm a lightweight now at this point. Like when I start drinking a big beer and I drink like, a good 4, 5, 6 ounces in the midst of a review, like I got to sit here and be like, oh, what am I saying? It hits me quick. I don't know what's going on. To be fair, I did have a lower ABV, a lager earlier today, so maybe that's the issue. Maybe just a little bit too much of a good thing. Anyway, thanks Hop Butcher. Thanks everybody. To the next one. Cheers. Oh yeah, I said 10.5%. You can definitely feel it. I do appreciate this beer not being too sweet, but clearly I can feel it. You guys probably saw throughout the entire review. Cheers.